Hello, Curry County. I'm Mindy Turner with the New Mexico State University Cooperative Extension Service, your Family and Consumer Science agent. Today, we're starting off a brand new series. You know, I've been seeing all of these memes and cute little videos and things that talk about I was today years old. And I got to thinking, okay, what exactly does that mean? And I look at these things and it's like, oh, I just figured out what this is or what this does or how it works. And some of it I look at and I'm like, I knew how to do that. I knew what that was. And other things, it's like, I had no idea. And I really was today years old when I found out that's what it did. So it got me to thinking, how do I know some of these things? Where does that knowledge come from? And so some of the basic things that we do on a daily basis, I grew up learning a lot with my mom and dad, my grandparents, being able to be a part of that. Things are different now than they were, even when I was doing those things as a child growing up. So how do we come by that knowledge? So I've picked some basic things that you may watch and go, oh, Mindy, we already knew all of that. That's wonderful. I also find that there's some of this stuff that when I was researching it, pulling it together, I think, well, at some point I did know that, but I hadn't thought about it in a while. So I might have forgotten it or set it aside. So you can look at it as a little bit of a refresher on some of the basic things that we want to do in life. So I'm going to start off with one of the simplest things. We've gotten to where we use a lot of symbols for things. I call them hieroglyphics most of the time. That's not the technical term, but we use a lot of icons. We use a lot of symbols to represent things. Companies do that on the products that they put out. So instead of just reading the words, now we have these universal symbols that are supposed to give us important information. So for instance, on most of our tableware, dishware, baking, things like that, you're going to see on the bottom, let's get right in the light there, these different little graphics across there. And so sometimes I look and I'm like, okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. This can go in the freezer because there's a snowflake on there. So that tells me that's okay. But then I get to look at it and there's all these other weird, random kind of pictures. This, why would I even need to know that? Or why would that be there? That's kind of hard to see. So I went ahead and I blew it up a little bigger for you, that this is what's on the actual casserole dish. So you may have dishes, pots, pans, things in your home that have these types of symbols on them. And so understanding what they mean is very important to the care and the longevity of your items. Because none of us want to put something in the dishwasher and ruin it and then have to go purchase another one. It's just not good stewardship of our money. Or a lot of times that's going to be your favorite thing that you really like to use, that's the one that something happens to. So when we look at the graphics that you'll find on your different types of items, this is very simply food beverage safe. So if you see this logo, that means, yeah, hey, you can use this in your kitchen to prepare food, serve food off of, drink out of, things like that. This one, when you really get a good look at it, and you can see those things are sitting in the little tray with the water coming down. Okay, good to know that's going to be our dishwasher safe. Now, one of the things I found very interesting is there's no universally accepted symbol for dishwasher safe. They're all a little different depending on the brand or the company that you're dealing with. So when you look at that, that's something that you're going to see. Okay, then we have the oven. The microwave oven, okay, so it's safe in the oven, safe in the microwave. You can heat it, use it on top of the stove up to a certain temperature, and then I already mentioned the freezer. There are different variations on all of these things. Just know typically when you see the wavy lines, that's going to be your microwave oven. Okay, the other thing that I know is kind of difficult, some things come in a package. It came in a box, it came in a bag, it came as a set. And they're not necessarily printed on the items like this one is. So it's looking at the actual packaging to know how to care for, how to keep that item safe, what you can use it for. Okay, so you can see on this sheet, the dishwashers are a little different. This one, where the top half is kind of shaded in, means it needs to go on the top rack. Okay, this is just a general one. Hey, yeah, put it in there. safe for the fridge or be used in the freezer. Of course, there's our snowflake again. And again, the maximum heat that it can take is listed. One of the other things that I thought was really interesting is there's also different symbols related to the type of stovetop that you use. So those are important things to know that your items are safe to use on that type of a stovetop. So you can see there's a different symbol for gas, there's a different symbol for ceramic, if it's electric. Now we have halogen or induction, and then of course just the oven. That's pretty universal, that it's safe to actually go into the oven. You will see some symbols again with numbers, degrees associated with it, that it can go up to a certain temperature or below a certain temperature. Those are the kind of things you're going to find in your kitchen. So what do we do with those items that don't have any of those markings? I was very blessed to get a lot of my grandmother's Corningware items, which I love, and I use them for all types of different things. Obviously, for the time these were made, most of them are antiques. There's no symbols, there's no information. So you do a little research about those items, particularly things that are important to you, that you want to keep and have it stay safe. So when we talk about the Corningware, this is the ceramic sealed kind. It's oven safe, it's microwave safe, it's safe in the dishwasher. Depending what your item is, you're going to want to do a little research to try to figure out what keeps it in good shape. Okay, so the next place that you're going to see a lot of my hieroglyphics when you get ready to take care of things is on your clothing or anything that you're washing, things that go into your laundry. You're going to have those options as well. So just in looking at around the house basic tags, things that are there are all types of symbols you're going to see on the tag. And again, when we look at an item, these things are really small, so they can be hard to see. But sometimes the graphic is easier to see than the words. So it can be helpful in identifying that. So this is the tag that actually came out of this pair of capri jeans. So when we look at that, it actually says on there, do not bleach, tumble dry low, all of that information, but then it has the graphics that explain that to us as well. So some of the things that are going to be important when you look at it, and this is a tag from the button-up shirt behind me, and this is a tag from my polo shirt, similar to the one that I have on right now. Trying to get the light to not reflect so much. There we go, where you can see those. So again, some things are very self-explanatory. For instance, you're going to see this little iron. Sometimes the iron will have a number in it, which tells you how much heat it can actually take if you're going to iron it. Sometimes it will have an X across it. Anything with an X across it means don't. So it's going to say don't iron. So my suggestion, if your husband likes iron shirts, is that you take a Sharpie and just mark the iron out on all of those tags so you don't have to press them. It's not working well at my house, but it's just a suggestion to consider. So when you look across here, it's going to tell you, it's washer safe. You can put it in the dryer. There's the little dryer looking at. Now the triangle is one that kind of throws us off. Doesn't look like anything specific. The triangle is going to be your bleach. So something that you're going to want to think about when you look at your bleach, if there is just an outline of a triangle, see if I can get the lights fixed, an outline of a triangle, safe to bleach. A solid triangle with the X across it, no bleach at all. But then sometimes you'll see a triangle with the lines across it, just a couple lines across it. That means only non-chlorine bleach. So you're going to want to put the bleach in for that. So there are lots of different variations. As long as you know the basic information, you're going to have a better chance of taking care of things appropriately, keeping them lasting longer, keeping your money where it needs to be, and being able to use your favorite products. So again, I've been Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, sharing some quick tips with you things that we wish we knew, things that we want to make sure we remember. We'll be back next week with the next part in this series, and I hope you'll join us. If you would like to be added to our newsletter list, you can go online, curryextension.nmsu.edu. Under Family Health and Wellness, click on Request Newsletter, and you can choose if you would like to receive a hard copy in the mail or if you'd like to get that over email. Or you can always call our office, 575-763-6505, and we'll be glad to add you to that list or help you with any questions you may have. We will see you right back here next time.